You almost kept scrolling, didn't you, dear heart? Part of you is tired of reaching for something comforting and finding words that do not touch what hurts. You have been carrying that quiet ache again, the one that wakes up with you, sits beside you in the afternoon, and grows louder when the room finally gets still. You have wondered if this day would be just another copy of the last few days, another stretch of trying to function, trying to answer people kindly, trying to look steady while something inside you feels worn thin. Beloved, you did not come across this moment by accident. Before this hour arrived, before your thoughts began circling, before that heaviness settled behind your eyes and in your chest, I knew this would be the day you would need tenderness. I knew you would be fighting that familiar mix of weariness, self-doubt, and disappointment. I knew your mind would whisper, I should be stronger than this. I knew another part of you would wonder, why am I still affected by this? Why does it keep finding me? And underneath those thoughts, I know what you need most. Not more pressure, not another demand, not a speech about doing better. You need steadiness. You need room to rest without fear. You need to know that your tenderness has not disqualified you. My child, there is nothing surprising to me about your humanity. Your tired heart has not inconvenienced me. Your tears, whether they fell openly or stayed hidden in the corners of your eyes, have not made me pull away. Your confusion has not made me impatient. Your silence has not offended me. I have not been standing at a distance waiting for you to say the perfect thing in the perfect tone with perfect faith. I have been near in the mess of your real life, near when you stared at the ceiling, near when you replayed the conversation, near when you blamed yourself for what was never fully yours to carry. Precious one, you have been so hard on yourself. You have expected your heart to heal on a schedule. You have expected your mind to untangle everything at once. You have expected peace to arrive quickly, quietly, neatly. But healing is often slower than your anxious thoughts allow. It moves like a candle in a dark room, not loud, not rushed, not trying to prove itself, just a small faithful light changing the space around it little by little. That is how I work in places you thought were too dim, too cluttered, too exhausted to hold anything holy. I do not despise the small beginning. I do not overlook the fragile effort. I do not turn away from the part of you that is barely holding together. Loved one, listen carefully. You are not failing because you feel deeply. You are not weak because this still matters to you. You are not behind because your heart needs time to come back into balance. The world around you has taught you to rush your sorrow, to hide your ache, to translate your pain into productivity before anyone notices. But I am not asking that of you. I am not measuring you by how quickly you recover. I am not grading your worth by your energy level, your clarity, your emotional control, or how well you hide the strain. You do not need to earn gentleness here. Sweet soul, what has weighed on you has been real. The disappointment was real. The unanswered questions were real. The sense of being overlooked, misunderstood, or quietly left to carry too much was real. And because it was real, the impact has been real too. So do not shame yourself for feeling the bruise of it. A tender place is still a place, even when no one else can see it. You have tried to talk yourself out of pain with logic alone. You have tried to reason your way into immediate peace. You have said, "It should not bother me this much." And yet it does. So be honest, dear one. Not dramatic, not defeated, just honest. Honesty opens a doorway that pretending never could. When you stop arguing with the fact that you are hurting, you finally create room for comfort to enter. And I would like to meet you there. Not in the polished version of you. Not in the version that knows exactly what to say. Not in the version that seems calm enough to be acceptable. I meet the real one, the one who is tired of overthinking, the one who keeps second-guessing, the one who wants relief but fears disappointment. Yes, that one. My dear one, there are moments when your thoughts become crowded, and every feeling starts speaking at the same time. One voice says, "You need to fix this now." Another says, "You are too much." Another says, "If you slow down, everything will fall apart." And still another whispers, "No one really understands what this costs you. I understand more than you know. I understand the hidden labor of trying to stay steady. I understand the effort it takes to answer a message when your heart feels heavy. I understand the quiet courage required to keep showing up when your inner world is noisy. I understand the exhaustion of carrying concerns you cannot solve tonight. Beloved, you were never meant to survive by clenching. That is why your body grows tired. That is why your mind spins. That is why your spirit feels thin. You have been trying to hold too many things at once. Some of them matter deeply. Some of them are not yours. And some are simply fears pretending to be responsibilities. This is why I am speaking to you so gently now. Not to expose you, not to scold you, not to tell you that you have done everything wrong. I am speaking softly because your heart is tender, and tenderness needs careful hands. There are burdens you picked up because you care. There are burdens you picked up because you were afraid. There are burdens you picked up because no one taught you that you could set them down without becoming less loving. But carrying everything has not made you safer. It has only made you weary, precious one. You do not have to keep punishing yourself for not being limitless. You are allowed to be a person in need. You are allowed to have edges. You are allowed to say within yourself, "This is hard for me." That is not weakness. That is truth, and truth is kinder than the performance that has been exhausting you. I know there are moments when you wonder if I am disappointed in you, when your energy is low, when your prayers are few, when your thoughts are tangled, when your hope feels dim. You fear I must be less close. But listen to me. My nearness does not depend on your strength. My care does not rise and fall with your mood. My attention does not weaken because your heart is struggling. I am with you in the unfinished place, in the place where answers are partial, in the place where healing is underway, in the place where you are still becoming who you thought you should already be. Loved one, what if this day is not proof of your failure? What if this day is simply the day I wanted to interrupt the story you have been telling yourself? The story that says you are too broken to be held. The story that says you must figure everything out alone. The story that says your value fades when you cannot keep everything together. Those stories are loud, but they are not sacred. You have listened to them because pain often speaks with urgency. But urgency is not always truth. Sometimes the truest thing is quieter. Sometimes it arrives as a steady hand on your shoulder. Sometimes it comes as permission to stop forcing an answer. Sometimes it sounds like this: you are still loved here. You are still wanted here. You are still safe to approach, even carrying questions, even carrying fatigue, even carrying that private ache you have not fully named. Dear heart, there is also something else I want you to understand. The fact that you are affected does not mean you are defeated. The fact that you are weary does not mean you are abandoned. The fact that you cannot see the full shape of what is ahead does not mean there is no way forward. A path can exist before your eyes adjust enough to recognize it. And I know the way your future opens. Not all at once. Not in a way that floods you with more than you can hold. But in wise portions. In enough light for the next step. In enough grace for this hour. In enough mercy for today. Sweet soul, I know you wanted clarity sooner. I know you wanted the conversation to go differently. The loss to hurt less. The uncertainty to end faster. I know you wanted to feel more certain by now. And because I know, I do not speak to you harshly for being disappointed. Disappointment has a way of making everything look final. It tells you that what hurts now will always hurt this way. It tells you that what feels delayed has been denied. It tells you that because this chapter is heavy, the whole story must be turning against you. But the chapter is not the whole story, my child. What you feel today is not all that will ever be true. There is movement you cannot measure yet. There is mending that has already begun beneath the surface. There is wisdom forming in you quietly through all you have survived. Not the hard, brittle kind, the soft, strong kind. The kind that does not need to impress anyone. The kind that knows how to stay gentle without collapsing. The kind that recognizes that being held is not the same as being helpless. Beloved, rest from trying to explain yourself perfectly. Rest from trying to predict every possible outcome. Rest from trying to manage other people's hearts while neglecting your own. You have been standing guard for so long, watching, bracing, preparing, anticipating, and it has worn you down. You do not have to stay in a constant state of inner readiness to deserve care. You do not have to remain tense to prove that you are responsible. You do not have to keep reliving what happened just in case replaying it finally brings peace. Some peace comes not from solving, but from being sheltered while the solution is still on its way. Let that be enough for now. My child, if you can do only one thing today, be less cruel to yourself. When the accusing thought appears, you do not have to feed it. When shame tries to settle on you, you do not have to make it a home. When your mind reaches for the oldest fear, you can answer more gently than you have before. You can say, I am having a hard moment, but I am still cared for. You can say, I do not understand everything, but I do not need to punish myself. You can say, this feeling is present, but it is not the whole truth. That softening matters, not because it fixes everything instantly, but because kindness creates space inside you where hope can return. Precious one, I am not asking you to become fearless tonight. I am not asking you to erase your questions. I am not asking you to pretend the pain never touched you. I am simply drawing near to the place that aches and offering you steadiness instead of pressure. Take that in slowly. You do not need to perform calmness for me. You do not need to manufacture certainty. You do not need to force yourself into a brighter mood to be held close. Come as you are, even if as you are looks quiet, confused, or worn out. Loved one, there have been days when you thought no one noticed the effort you were making. But I noticed. I noticed the restraint it took not to fall apart in public. I noticed the courage it took to begin again this morning. I noticed the kindness you still offered others while carrying your own ache. I noticed the tears you swallowed. I noticed the moments you almost gave in to hopelessness. And nothing tender in you has been wasted on me. Nothing hidden from others has been hidden from my care. Dear one, if your heart feels fragile today, that is all right. Fragile things are handled differently, more slowly, more carefully, with greater attention. So I will not rush you. I will not demand that you leap into joy. I will not shame you for moving softly. There is room here for your slower pace. There is room here for the parts of you that need quiet. There is room here for silence that says more than words can. And if you have wondered whether you missed your chance, whether your mistakes have altered what good could still come, hear me clearly. My care for you was never built on your flawless timing. I can work with delays. I can work with detours. I can work with the places where you lost confidence and sat down beside the road. I know how to meet you there. I know how to strengthen what has gone weak. I know how to speak below the noise of fear. I know how to lead without crushing what is already bruised. Sweet soul, today is not random. This interruption, this pause, this moment of being met right here in the middle of your ordinary life was known before you arrived in it. I knew the hour your heart would need relief. I knew the exact shade of your discouragement. I knew the thoughts that would try to tighten around you. And I prepared tenderness for this very point in your day. Not because you earned it, because you are mine, and I care for what is mine with patience. So ease your grip even if only a little. You do not have to solve tomorrow before evening comes. You do not have to answer every fear that knocks. You do not have to keep proving that you are trying. I know your effort already. Beloved, there is a quiet strength settling around you now. Not the kind that hardens your face or numbs your heart. The kind that lets you unclench. The kind that reminds you that being supported is not a threat. The kind that helps you sit down inside your own soul without panic. Stay there a little. Let this moment be simpler than your anxious mind prefers. You are here. I am near. This day has not escaped my notice. This ache has not escaped my notice. And you, precious one, have not escaped my love. So if you need to be still, be still. If you need quiet, take quiet. If all you can manage is to rest your thoughts for one small moment, that is enough for now. The night does not frighten me. The unanswered things do not confuse me. The tenderness in you does not make you less worthy of care. My dear one, I will keep watch over what concerns you. I will be gentle with what is sore in you. I will remain through the questions, through the healing, through the slow return of peace. You do not have to rush to find me. I am already here, close as a warm room at the end of a long day, quietly holding space for your heart to rest. And when the thoughts rise again, as they sometimes do, remember this. You were known today. You were anticipated today. You were met today with kindness. So lay your tired heart down for a while, not in fear, in safety. I remain here, steady and tender, beside you in the stillness. Amen. Dear family, it is a blessing to share God's word with you each day. We continue this mission with dedication and hope. If you would like to support and help us continue this work, you will find the support link in the description and in the comment box below. Thank you for being part of this prayer family.